Hey, I'm Dark North. In this video, I'll be talking about the best Ganyu team comps to maximize Ganyu's damage. The two core main team comps revolve around Freeze and Melt. And if you're confused as to which one to choose or what artifacts to use, I made a video talking about how to build Ganyu as a main DPS with both Freeze and Melt. You can check that out to get an idea for which one would be better for you. The link is in the description. Let's start with Freeze team comps. First team comp is Ganyu, Mona, an Anemo character, and Diona. You can use a Anemo character in the third slot for crowd control and Viridescent Shred. Kazuha at C0 and Sucrose at C6 can give elemental damage bonus, which will directly increase Ganyu's cryo damage. Though in this case, Sucrose's EM transfer is wasted here as Freeze teams do not benefit from it. Venti can be used for hard crowd control, and his passive also refunds swirled element energy to the entire team, so he can be a battery for Ganyu burst. Jean can be used for fall damage abuse and healing. Diona provides a shield, healing, cryo resonance for more crit rate, and can be a battery for Ganyu using Sacrificial or Favonius Bow. Mona applies Hydro for Freeze. Her burst is a damage amplifier which amplifies damage by 60% at level 10, essentially allowing Ganyu to reverse melt without a pyro character. Another cool thing about Mona's Omen debuff is when it's frozen, its duration gets extended. As Ganyu doesn't shatter, this means she can have a permanent 60% damage modifier on enemies. On top of this, Mona's burst does hit quite hard by itself. The second Freeze team is with Xingqiu instead of Mona. He does not provide a damage amp like Mona, but he does do a lot of damage on his own and has better Hydro application. Though he is, in my opinion, very awkward to play with Ganyu main DPS as his swords do not get triggered with charge shots, meaning you have to use a normal attack in between charge shots, which is something I personally do not enjoy at all, and I find very clunky. But if you enjoy that playstyle and are a god gamer who can do that consistently, then by all means go ahead and use Xingqiu with Ganyu. The third Freeze team is with Barbara. For those of you who do not have Mona and Xingqiu, or they're being used on another team, or maybe you just like Barbara. Barbara with Thrilling Tales can be used as a attack buffer for Ganyu. The downside of this, and there's a lot of downsides, is that you have to basically be in kissing distance of the enemy for Barbara E to proc Hydro on them. And you're playing charge shot Ganyu, so yeah. And if the enemy inflicts cryo on you, you get frozen too because Barbara doesn't differentiate between the enemy and you and applies Hydro to both. But if you don't have any option, then you don't have any option. Now let's talk about Melt Ganyu team comps. The primary enablers for Melt Ganyu are Kazuha plus Bennett and Xiangling. So the first team is Ganyu, Kazuha, Bennett plus a shielder, like Zhongli or Diona. Kazuha has a elemental absorption priority, which is Pyro, Hydro, Electro, Cryo. So when Bennett infuses Kazuha with Pyro with his burst, and Kazuha uses his burst, it will always infuse Pyro. Not only this, if you apply Cryo to the enemy first before starting the rotation, then use Q on Kazuha with Bennett burst, he can swirl both Cryo and Pyro, thus giving both Cryo and Pyro damage bonus to the team, and shredding both elements' elemental resistance with Viridescent, and continue with a Pyro infused burst enabling Melt Ganyu. Bennett gives an attack buff and healing and does Bennett stuff. Zhongli can give a shield, shred elemental resistance, drop a meatball on the enemy doing a lot of damage, and crowd controls them by petrification. Diona can give healing, be a battery with Favonius Bow, or give EM buff to the team at C6, which is very useful in a Melt team. The second team for Melt Ganyu is with Xiangling being the enabler. The team would be Ganyu, Xiangling, Bennett, plus a Anemo character or a shielder. Xiangling burst is AoE and continuously applies pyro to all enemies surrounding Ganyu, allowing her to melt consistently on top of Guba. On top of this, Xiangling burst does a lot of damage on its own if you properly build her. Bennett gives an attack buff, pyro resonance, and healing and can generate energy for Xiangling. Fourth slot can be a Anemo character who can shred resistance with Viridescent set and provide crowd control, or a shielder like Zhongli who can shred resistance, drop a meteor and do damage and petrify enemies, or Diona who can heal, can be a battery, and at C6 gives a EM buff, which is very useful for Melt Ganyu. That's it with this video. If you found this helpful, consider leaving a like and subscribe for more videos like these. Thanks for watching.